today we have someone who can talk about that as well as what's going on in India's equity markets. Devina Mehra, First Global founder and chairperson and managing director, joins us this morning on Bloomberg. Devina, good morning. First quick question to you. What are you expecting, or what are you watching for, most importantly, from the RBI governor's communication this morning?
I think, good morning. So I think the stance is going to move towards tightening, whether or not any interest rate changes are made this time. The trend is very clear, and it is not just inflation. Obviously, I mean, with the fuel price hikes, you will see inflation crossing 5% pretty soon. But that apart, even at the time that RBI was cutting rates, I had pointed it out that this will create pressure on the currency because now Indian interest rates were only about 2 and odd percent points higher than, let us say, the US. The norm long term has been 5% point more, and the peaks were 7% point differential. So obviously, I mean, that's a macroeconomics 101, that if you have interest rate differentials going down so much, there would be pressure on the currency, which RBI never explicitly talked about in any of its policy announcements. But to my mind, that was very much on the cards. And also, in a sense, you can say the bond market never believed the rate cuts because the yields never fell to anywhere close to what the cuts were on the policy rates. And not just that, a number of the state issues did not go through. So the bond market was not either willing to believe the rates or not willing to invest at those rates. So that has been clear. So sure. I think RBI at some point has to tighten, because that's actually the reality on the ground, that the yields never fell that much. And that apart sure. Let us see, I mean, because the currency part, they have never explicitly talked about in the statements, but to my mind, it was kind of the elephant in the room, which was not being addressed.
Right. Well, I think people are expecting that the RBI will weigh in favor of growth right now, which is, sort of the weaker aspect of the economy, and maybe announce something, to sort of help shore up the currency. And some of the measures that are being discussed, as Bloomberg has reported, is that, cutting taxes for foreign investment in bonds and issues like that, which, of course, is not the RBI's purview to announce. But, Devina, my next question to you is this. Look, as an investor in India, what are you hoping that policymakers, the central bank, the government do shore up growth and in a sense then help earnings, help consumption, all of that? Or do you think the priority right now is to stop the outflow of foreign money and therefore do what they can to defend the rupee?
The outflow, I mean, I don't think the government can do very much, because any explicit measure to kind of curb the outflow actually always has a negative second-order impact, even in terms of announcements. When you had this sort of urging the citizens not to travel abroad and not to buy gold, while at one level it looks good that you're stopping the outflows, but actually the signal to the market is negative. So, you cannot actually have anything which is negatively kind of stopping the outflows. Maybe you can tax measures while you can do it on the margin. I don't know how much of a difference it will make, considering people have not made money in the market. So it's not as if they're sitting on these huge capital gains where the tax will actually help them. It might have some impact on the sentiment. But I think ultimately, I mean, the whether foreign portfolio flows come in or not, I don't think is a big determinant of the market direction. That's not. I mean, if you look at long-term data, there is no correlation. Of course, now at the balance of payment side, both on the portfolio investment as well as the net FDI, actually the big outflows are happening on the net FDI part, because there is also a lot of investments by Indian companies overseas, which was not the case a decade or two ago, whereas you have not had a kind of matching increase in the inbound FDI.
Right. So what are you hoping, Devina, will move the markets forward from here on? What do you expect to see over the course of the next 6 months, both in terms of fundamental economic performance, but also policy-making measures that you hope will help the market get out of this funk that it currently is in?
My personal view is that we always look for neat little explanations for whatever is happening in the markets. So, once something happens, then we say, oh, this was the trigger or this was the story. To me, the big positive in the market today is that the sentiment is very negative. So it is, if you look at most India fund managers a year or two ago, they would all be just talking the India growth story, quote unquote India growth story. Now you see people on media enumerating the risks. And that to me is a positive because, that's what research studies show around the world from, US, India, Portugal, Brazil, wherever they've been done, that when sentiment is overbuoyant, the next period returns are below normal. When sentiment is very negative, the next period returns are above normal. So in probability terms, you're likely to do better. In terms of valuations, while, suddenly people have discovered that India PEs are higher than the rest of the world, they were higher still in 2024. And if you look at sectorally, within India, you are not at very high ends of whatever valuation parameter you want to see. In many cases, you're below average. So those are, good conditions to be in. And as I said, that what was the trigger or all that is usually found in hindsight.
Yeah, fair enough. One last question then, Devina. Let's assume that between the central bank and the policymakers in Delhi and all the other regulators, they do everything available to shore up growth in this economy, and we're on the recovery path. We get over the tariff hump. We get over the Iran war hump. Do you still feel that, foreign investor interest in India will stand diminished because, as so many people have been debating for the last several months, India is not an AI play, and right now the global capital cycle is very focused on AI.
But if you look at even the US market, it is not as if only AI has been doing well. The Russell 2000 returns have been far ahead of the S&P 500. Every single subsector within the Russell 2000 is positive for this year. So I think the last I looked, Russell 2000 was up 18%, S&P was up 11%. So, this also is a story that only AI is running and nothing else in the world is running. That's not what the data says. And within AI also now, it's not the mega scalers. It is all the guys on the CapEx side, semiconductors to even hardware. You had companies like Dell or even IBM, Intel, everybody coming out after years of not doing much right up there in the performance tables. But the CapEx side is a flaky side to bet on because CapEx, if you are a supplier for capital expenditure, every year you start from zero. So this year, the mega scalers may be putting in almost $1 trillion of CapEx, which gives you great, not just demand, but pricing power. But 2 years later, will it be of the same order? So that is the big question mark to my mind. So I think this, in fact, I just wrote an op-ed this week on, to my mind, these kind of expenditure on AI will not make anywhere close to economic rates of return, which we have seen from even many transformative technologies. To my mind, this bubble will burst. It's only a when, not a if in my mind anymore. And India does have many industries, quite a range of industries compared to many other emerging markets. But as I said, I don't think, the foreign portfolio investor has to come in for the market to go up. There is actually, if you do a month-to-month comparison for the last 25 years, even before the Indian mutual fund industry really came into its own, there's not much linkage between the foreign portfolio flows and the direction of the market. I mean, that's the data.
All right, Devina. It sounds to me like you're optimistic of an upturn in Indian equities, whether it's based on the rock bottom sentiment or the capital cycle explanation that you gave. And so I assume you're all in Indian equities right now. That's a one-word answer, yes or no?
I'm always globally diversified, but yes, I'm fully allocated to the extent of my India equity allocation.
All right, great to hear that. Devina, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Devina